and you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Langston Adams. Attorney Adams, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge.
All right, and Mr. Hamilton, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Okay, Mr. Adams, in this case, cause number 332292, you'd like to make an announcement in Mr. Hamilton's case?
Yeah, we have a deal on that case, Judge. I believe the state had offered a JP reduction with a $500 fine for JP. So he's gonna have to just go and pay that $500 fine, and they're gonna dismiss the case with you.
How much time do you need?
We got me.
Yes,
I'll tell you now.
okay, they gotta file the case though. Has it been filed? It hasn't been filed yet.
No, it doesn't appear to have been filed.
Okay, so,
It's a JP reduction.
yeah, we'll reset it for 30 days. They gotta file the case,
Okay.
and then your attorney could tell you what JP precinct to go pay it in. Okay, so, this case, I'm gonna reset this case for 30 days. And, okay, stay in contact with your attorney. He'll get that information. And Mr. Hamilton,
Yes, sir.
you're gonna stand on the X in front of court coordinator. She's gonna give you a reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, too.
Thank you. Next case is cause number 332886. Case is style of state of Texas versus John Patterson. Mr. Patterson, would you please come forward?
If I'm not mistaken, Judge, that's a JP reduction too. Mr. Lamar, are you there? The prosecutor?
Mr. Lamar is not here today. Standing in for Mr. Lamar is Attorney Tommy Coleman.
Hey, Mr. Coleman, if you don't mind, can you please look at your notes? Because if I'm not mistaken, then that's a JP reduction as well.
Mr. Hamilton, that door is locked. You're gonna go through that door.
What's this?
His name is John Patterson, cause number 332886.
And Judge, if I recall specifically, that was a theft, and that was a theft involving food from one of the grocery stores. And I believe because of that, they did a JP reduction on that case. And if Mr. Coleman will confirm in his notes, we're gonna accept that deal. I talked to my client that'll move that case.
The notes do indicate a JP reduction.
Okay.
So Class C theft with a $500 fine.
Okay. and-
That's what I thought. That's what I thought it was, Judge. Yes,
so-
that's correct.
Okay, Mr. Patterson, how much time do you need to get the money to pay the fine?
I have 2 minutes.
60 days? Okay. We're gonna reset it for 60 days. Give us,
So, right, all he needs to do is just pay the JP, Judge.
okay, you're gonna stay in contact with your attorney. He's gonna tell you where you need to go pay it.
Yes, sir.
But your case has been reset to January 6th of 2023.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're gonna stand on the 4X, get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right.
That's
you're
all my cases.
welcome. Okay, you're welcome. All right, you free to go, Mr. Adams.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, your recess will be sent to you.
All right, bye-bye.
Mr. Coleman, are you ready?
Yes, on Mr. Ellis.
Ellis?
Yes.
Yeah. Would you get Chase Ellis? That's, you're gonna put this here on the record. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Our next case that we have is cause number 321394, case of style of state of Texas versus Chase Wade Ellis. Let the record reflect that Mr. Chase Wade Ellis is present in the courtroom with his attorney, Attorney Keith Ellis. And the state is represented by Attorney Tommy Coleman. The case is set for a sentencing hearing. August the 30th, okay. And Mr. Ellis was found guilty by the court for the Class A misdemeanor offense of hunting without landowner's consent, which is a Class A misdemeanor. It was a bench trial before a judge only, and the court reset this case for a PSI report. State, have you received a copy of that PSI report?
I have none.
And State, did you review it, the PSI report?
I have reviewed it, Judge. I have no corrections or additions or deletions that I'd like to recommend.
Okay. And Mr. Keith Ellis, you received a copy of that PSI report?
Yes, I did.
Have you reviewed that PSI report?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Do you have any additions or deletions to that report?
No, Your Honor, no substantial. There's some little small things like, whether there was a testimony as to a trespassing sign, no trespassing, but I don't think.
You're talking about in the factual,
Yes, yes.
what I guess the police / court version, that's what you're talking about?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Other than that, do you have any additions or deletions that needs to be made to the court's PSI report?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so the court will admit the PSI report and take judicial notice of the information contained therein. Now, Mr. Holmes.
At this time, still would also, we offer all the evidence from his trial for the purposes of today's sentencing. Yeah.
Okay. You have any objections?
No objection.
Okay, then she'll be admitted.
Judge, I'll be brief. I'll review the PSI. I think it speaks for itself. The defendant doesn't have a criminal history necessarily to speak of, other than a conviction for a drug offense back in 2010.
I think it was
Content.
I don't think it was a conviction. I think it was a deferred adjudication.
You're right. I stand corrected. He was placed on deferred probation for 6 months, which appears to be successfully completed, which did not result in conviction. He has had a number of contacts with law enforcement, but they did not result in a conviction. Your Honor, this is a probation case. That's always been a probation case. State's recommending probation, and we're asking that the court fashion the conditions of probation, in this case, accordingly.
Okay, Mr. Keith Ellis.
Yes, Your Honor. Judge, this case is looking at the PSI, which I got this morning. There's nothing I disagree with. Chase accepts the responsibility. He may not agree that he was person there, but he accepts the court's punishment and will give it, like, as he said, in it 100% to fulfill any punishment that the court gives him.
Okay, and y'all have any recommendation as to, well, this is a probation recommendation?
I would ask Judge that this defendant receive a probation that's consistent with any other similarly situated defendant. You know, had he come in and accepted responsibility and not gone through, the time and expense of a trial and the taking up the state and the witnesses' time, I would say that he would be, did a 12-month probation with, a fine of around $750, the typical 48 hours community service, and the standard conditions of probation, would have been sufficient. But I would ask that the court take into account the fact that at least initially the defendant didn't take responsibility. And, which is his right to push us to a trial, but, acceptance of responsibility, I think, should be considered when fashioning the condition of probation. So in short, Judge, I'll say this, where a person who came in here, and initially accepted responsibility would have gotten a 12-month probation, I ask maybe the court consider, some additional months, maybe an additional fine, a higher fine, given the fact that there was, not an acceptance of responsibility in this case.
Mr. Ellis?
Yes, Your Honor. As the court knows, I know Mr. Ellis fairly well.
Yeah.
Taught him a lot of things, probably taught him some things I shouldn't have. However, it wasn't to trespass. One of the things I always told him is if you're right, stand up for your right. And in this court, that's what he does. So he still says that today. I told Mr. Ellis after the trial, I said, Chase, you may want to, make sure you tell probation that you accept the responsibility. And he said, I didn't do it. Now, although I know the court found him guilty, and he says that he accepts that finding of guilt and accepts the punishment. So to give him extra months because he stood up for what he thought was right, I don't think is the proper thing in this case. He is a single parent with 2 children, 3 and 5. So the fine will do nothing to hurt his children. But whatever the court decides, he'll offer.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm just looking at the PSI report. I did note that, as you said, he does have children. He is, he's gainfully employed. And I think the PSI report said he's been employed at his current employment since about 2010. That's right, about 12 years.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I didn't mean to interrupt, but Mr. Ellis asked me, could you address the court?
Oh, yes. You may stand up.
Just want to say I apologize for taking up the court's time, and want to say, I have a son that's 3 years old, and I understand the seriousness of all this. I have a son that's 3 years old, and I'd like him to be involved in the outdoors and hunting, and want to teach him the right way to do things. So I just want to let you know I do understand the seriousness, although, I don't know. I understand the seriousness of it. And I wasn't necessarily there, but I accept any punishment you give me.
Okay. Is that it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's see. I think you got 6. What is his, typically, how many hours a week does he work?
Usually 40 hours, Your Honor.
Or, I do know at one time he, now, will you get ready to say something?
Yes, Your Honor. Work's kind of slow right now. There's not a whole lot of work, and we've moved facilities. He's trying to get set up in another place. So he's not overtime, if any.
Okay.
He works 40 hours, pretty much.
Okay, okay, okay. Um, okay. Okay. The court is going to assess punishment at 90 days in jail. However, that's going to be probated, so you'll be on probation for 15 months. The fine in this case is $1,000 plus court costs that will be paid off over the term and condition of his probation. Probation, the community service in this case is 80 hours of community service. You cannot have any contact with the victim of the offense, Anthony McDade, Mickey Phelan, or family members, either in person, by telephone, by mail, electronic mailing, or social media, or through a third party. You must also remain off the premises of the following location: Phelan Investment Property, 8451 Walden Road and Major Drive, Beaumont, Texas, and DD6 Drainage District Canal, Beaumont, Texas. Now he was also, by law, his license is fishing and pursuant to the statute. Let's see, yes. Pursuant to section 61.022, section B of the Texas Wildlife and Fisheries Code. His fishing and hunting licenses and permits will be revoked during the duration of this probation. State or defense, you had any other, and also he would also adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of probation. That is, he cannot, among other things, do not enter any bar, tavern, or lounge or similar place. Abstain from the use of all intoxicating substances, including alcohol in any form, and at all times submit to alcohol and drug screening at the direction of the Jefferson County Supervision and Corrections Department or supervision jurisdiction, and pay any associated fee. Do not utilize, possess any device or object for purposes of providing a fake specimen, and do not consume any substance in an attempt to adulterate or dilute the specimen for testing. And I think he lives in Orange County, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So he'll report, well, he's gonna report first here in Jefferson County and report to Orange County for courtesy supervision. And he's ordered to obey all rules and regulations of the supervision jurisdiction. Now, state, there was in the court's file, there is a motion that was filed by the Texas Wildlife and Fisheries, asking for a forfeiture of the weapon.
We still would have to the court grant that motion.
Okay, and the weapon will be,
Your Honor, if I could speak.
yes,
Now, this gun was purchased by me from Todd here in Beaumont. Just a short time before this incident happened, that's when it was in the truck. And to forfeit the gun that I bought for my father, who's now deceased, who left it back to me. I gave it to him, he kept it for a short time, then whenever he died, he left it to me. So send on there, we are an outdoorsy kind of family. We fish, we hunt, we do a lot of outdoor things. But the gun is not gonna be to chase, it's gonna be held for, I'll hold the gun and give it whenever I pass away, we'll give it on down the line of descent. So therefore, I would request that the gun be returned, not to Chase, but to me, because I'm the owner. I bought it from, like I say, from Todd LeBlanc, just a short time before this incident. It was in the truck, somebody took it out without my permission. And it would be a punishment to me, for what reason, I don't know, other than it's clear that Mickey Phelan has said in there that he'd like to purchase, it's a nice gun. He'd like to purchase or obtain
I don't think that can be done. Yeah, go ahead on.
Yeah, and so, it's clear that they want the gun, but the gun didn't do the harm. I didn't do the harm. So it'd be a punishment to me if we took the gun away from me. That's all.
State,
I can briefly respond to it. The weapon very well may have some sentimental value. However, it is an instrument of crime, and like in the other case where there's an instrumentality of crime, the state usually seeks to forfeit that instrument of the crime, and we would ask that that be done in this case, Judge.
Your Honor, I will, as an officer of the court, will tell the court that in talking to Mr. Boone, the game warden, when this began, he told me that he wasn't going to oppose a probation. This is what he told me. He wasn't going to oppose a probation, and he would help me get the gun back and everything. I know that's probably not the case now for a lot of citizens. But I'll represent support that he did tell me that he would help me get the gun back. Losing the firearm that I had just purchased, I was expectations is ran on, but I will file a theft charge on again on that took them out of the truck and left it on the canal.
okay, let me do this. You said you had a conversation with Mr. Boone, but the forfeiture request that I'm looking at, notice of seizure and request for forfeiture, was signed by Michael C. Boone.
Yes, Your Honor.
So Michael C. Boone is the one that's requesting the forfeiture. So I don't know what he told you, but at this time, the court is going to grant the forfeiture of the weapon in this case. Okay? And that is that's the order of the court. So at this time, we're going to have Mr. Ellis. Well, I mean, once you do the judgment, I'll have to, we'll have to type in what's done. It's the forfeiture of a weapon. It's the suspension of his fishing and hunting license for the duration, which is 15 months of the probation. No contact with the victim. And, okay, I can print it in. I can do it. Okay, just go ahead on and draft it, then I'll put what needs to be done, and then we'll. Okay, that is the order of the court. So it's gonna take us a while to draft up the judgment, and once the judgment is drafted up, then Mr. Ellis will come forward. He can get his prints.
So the trial date began August 30th
Yes.
and the verdict.
Actually, the verdict was the same day. It was just that
The same day.
is that she did the PSI the next day. Yeah.
And who was the court reporter?
You was Ada.
Ada.
Nah, I think I.
And you
No, it was a bench trial. Okay, the person that's on Zoom that has LGE LMG 900, could you please state your full name?
Jacob Wright.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay, and that's, yeah, we're gonna have to get a copy of that judgment. I need his prints, so y'all gonna have to stay around. Okay. Okay, and that's Mr. Crocker. Lynn
Correct.
Crocker. Okay. That door is locked. It's only one door that's open. Huh? Yeah, once you do it, I have to type.
it's done.
Okay, well, okay, just hold on. Yeah, we got another hearing.
I want to do the interview.
Right, yeah, right. Hold on a minute, Mr. Crocker, Mr. Wright. The
Yes, sir.
prosecutor, the prosecutor that was handling the case is not here today. And so, we have another prosecutor, so just hold on a minute.
Yes, sir.
And I
Look at the case. I mean, I was under the impression that that case that got passed.
was supposed to be reset.
Yeah, Mr. Johnson was reset. Yeah, they just have to-
Okay, Mr. Crocker. Apparently the prosecutor, the prosecutor who actually has the case, he's not here today, but he told the prosecutor who's subbing today that that case was reset.
That was my understanding.
Oh, that was your understanding too?
Yes, your coordinator is the one that called us and got us online. It was our understanding.
Okay, so it was reset. Okay,
Yes.
okay, that's fine. I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
None of-
Okay, well, y'all was pretty timely, y'all got here, but just next time we'll go ahead on and do the motion and we'll allow you to have a hearing, okay?
Yes, sir.
Very
Thank you.
well. Thank you.
And Mr. Crocker, if you don't have your reset date, we're gonna send that reset date to you and you can get with Mr. Jacob Wright.
I will, Your Honor.
All right, y'all free to go. Y'all have a blessed day. And you free to go as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Kimler,
Yes, Your Honor.
how you doing?
Could be worse.
Now you have Heaven Andrews.
That's correct. I believe she's present.
Yeah, it's supposed to be for contested hearing.
Oh, is it? I know it's an
That's-
MTRP matter.
That's what the note I have on here that says
Okay.
contested hearing. Apparently, because normally when we have our contested hearings, you're here in person.
I could be up, I can come up there, I suppose.
Hold on a minute.
That would be the state, if we're going to have a contested hearing, we have to be in person. I would also ask for an opportunity to visit with Mr. Kimler, maybe we can work it out.
Okay, what we're gonna do, Mr. Kemp, do you wanna call him on the phone or?
I can call him, if he wants me to give him a call. but-
Oh,